You put your signature on it for me, across the face. Not your face.
His face.
Yeah.
Thank you. Some people regularly ask me, what is the most difficult trick that I can do? Sometimes people don't.
Sometimes we don't. What's the most difficult thing you can do?
Well, bloody hell, I'm amazed that you've asked, because I was just about to show you it.
You'll edit that in right, mate, it'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll edit that in. Put that bit in.
Yeah.
No, check this out. I'm going to show you it. Have a look. Where I bury it into the middle. All right. I'm going to find it in what I believe is the most impossible way. All right. I'm going to place the whole pack into the box. Are you happy with that? Well, it's in the box, right? Yeah. My sleeves are already rolled up. All right. And finally, I'm going to close the box. So you'd agree that now it's pretty tricky for me to find your actual card. Would you agree? Would you agree? Are you happy with that? Okay. So this is the plan.
I'm happy.
Are you happy with that? Okay, so my job is to try and find the card. But I'm going to make it even more impossible. I'm going to place the whole pack in my pocket. All right? So I'm going to pull this up. I'll place the whole pack in right there. How many seconds, sir, will you give me to find it? It's up to you.
Ooh, more than 6.
More than 6? What, 20 seconds? Is that all right?
No, we should have said less.
Less than 6.
Less than 6, let's go less than 6.
Less than 6. 5 seconds to be precise, right. I'm going to go for it. 5 seconds, which is less than 6. I'm going to do it. 5 seconds. So you start counting whenever you want.
Now. 1, 2.
Slow it down a bit. No, I've got it already. Hang on, there's one card. How many seconds was that? That was nearly 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
No.
It is the card. The nine of spades. Is that your card?
Yes.
There you go. That's probably the most difficult card trick that I actually know. I know one which is a little bit more tricky. I'm going to show you it now. This isn't guaranteed to work, but I'm going to try my hardest for you all. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
That is fair, right?
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to make it even more impossible. I'm going to place the rubber bands around the box, so now there's nowhere that I can even get into the box. Well, there is, but it's going to take longer than 5 seconds, nearly 6.
Maybe more than 6.
Yeah. 20 seconds, yeah. Give me about an hour. But are you happy that these are all bound around the box, right?
Yeah.
In fact, in case
I'd say
somebody's...
you're going over top if I'm honest.
I am a little bit. But some people think I can sneak it out of the side. So, just in case any of you are thinking that, this is fair, right? I'm going to bound the box with these bands along the side. You're looking a little bit cautiously. Are you happy with that?
I'm
You can
happy.
check it out as well. That is fair, right?
Yeah, I think.
That is as fair can be. If I could find the card now, that would be pretty amazing, right?
Gaffer tape it.
Gaffer tape. If you had some gaffer, I'd gaffer it up.
Satisfied, I'm kidding.
That's a good idea, and I like that.
Seal it for the hermetically seal it.
That's fair, right? A Ziploc bag.
That's fair-ish.
Has anybody got any gaffer tape on them?
Well, actually, I've left mine at home.
I'm going to try it now. You happy with that?
Yeah,
Okay. Watch close. There's nothing in the hands. I place the whole pack into the pocket. How many seconds?
4.
4 seconds.
He had less.
Yeah.
4 seconds. Right, I'm going to go for 4 seconds. You can start counting whenever you want.
1.
Stop.
No.
That wasn't even 2. I definitely beat 2 then. I heard it.
Okay.
Thank you.
1.6.
As long as
And that is your card. The nine of spades. That's your signature, right? But the most amazing thing is that the box is still in complete intact. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Come on. Well done.
Glad you all enjoyed it. Thank you.
also do balloons?
What do you want? Hello and welcome to the explanation for Bound. It's a brilliant routine. The really nice thing about this routine is that all you actually need for the basic routine are some rubber bands and a packet of playing cards. I perform this, I perform it very frequently in shows, I perform it in walkabout, so it's a very versatile routine and it packs a real punch, but more importantly it's very simple to do, which leaves you to focus on the presentation to make this the masterpiece that it is. Okay, for this routine, all you are going to need is, as I said earlier, your rubber bands, you need a packet of playing cards, and you will also need a Sharpie pen. You only need the Sharpie pen if you want the card to be signed. All right, so once you've got all of these things, the preparation for this is so simple. All you need to do is take one single playing card. If it's a brand new packet of cards, you can use a joker. Place the joker into the pocket that you're going to be performing the routine with. Place that in your pocket, and that's it. You're now set and ready to perform Bound. So now that's the setup, let's get straight into the handling for this. You can perform this as a standalone routine, or you can perform this as a finisher to a routine. I personally prefer to perform this as a standalone trick. So what you will do is have the cards shuffled, have them mixed. A participant, somebody's going to pick a card out. Whichever card they take is absolutely fine. For clarity with this though, I will use, let's go for example, the Ace of Hearts. It's nice and visual for the camera. You'll have that card signed, so the participant will sign the card. Okay. Once that has then been signed, this card will obviously be with the participant. So what I do at this point, as the card is being signed, I'm going to perform a hip reverse of the top card. All right, and the way you actually do this, it's very, very easy to do. You just casually drop your arms, and as your arms go down, you're going to reverse the top card on the pack using your hip as a surface to reverse that card. Now you've got to be very careful not to flash the top card to show that it's reversed. So that's easily done just by keeping the hand towards yourself, all right? Sorry, the top card towards your own body. So this is in the hands of somebody else. You're going to take the card back in. As you're taking this card back in, you're now going to execute a little pinky break underneath the top card, all right? So that comes in, you take the card, and as you take it back, you're going to keep the face towards yourself, sorry, the card that you've reversed towards you. So as this comes back, this signed card is going to align with the top card, and the moment it's aligned, you can then bring it back down into view. That all actually happens very quickly and looks as simple as that. It's just one quick movement. And that now is leaving you with your pinky break ready to perform a double turnover. All right, so this is your position that you're currently in, and you're now going to appear to place the Ace of Hearts into the middle of the pack. Now, if you remember within the routine, what I like to do is make real emphasis that their card is going into the middle of the pack. All right, I find that this routine doesn't mix particularly well with an ambitious card routine, because if you go and place a playing card into the middle, they know that you can bring that card back up to the top. All right, I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent there, but you get the idea. So I take the card, I execute a double turnover, and I appear to place the card into the middle of the pack. And I let everybody see it going in. Look, you can see that really is in the middle. All right, so everybody's seen that going in. Now I don't shuffle the pack or anything at all. Really, if I was to now shuffle the pack, there's a chance that I could be controlling that card back up to the top. It makes perfect sense to just place a card into the middle and to leave it right there. So now you're going to take the pack and you're going to place it into the box. When you place it into the box, you're going to do it with the flap of the box pointing downwards, and you open up the box, place the whole pack in, and again at this point I now exclaim, now it's really difficult for me to find your card. It's in the box. I can't get to the sides or anything like that. So now what we do is we say we're going to make it even more impossible by simply closing the box. And at this point, what I do is show that the box is genuinely closed. And I take a little bit of time to show that it's closed. Then I will open it up again. And the reason why I do this is to say, look, it really is in the pack. Then I bring the whole pack to myself and I squeeze the box, which gives us a little gap right here between the top card. Occasionally, a few of the cards will expand and separate from the pack of cards in the box, but if that happens, that's fine. You can place the whole pack. You can place the flap down and place it within a few cards. It really doesn't matter for this routine, okay? And I'll explain when we come to retrieve the card how you will handle that if it does happen during the performance. So I bring it to myself, I squeeze and I place the flap, basically trapping one single playing card right here, and the card that I'm trapping is their card, right? Now what I'll do, remember I brought this up to myself, so I turn the whole pack around whilst covering this little half circle, and I can show this cleanly now. Now I'm going to place this into my pocket, But when I place it in my pocket, I don't turn the pack around so that the face is pointing towards the audience. I make sure that it's facing me. Okay, this is basically for a bit more of a dramatic reveal during the performance. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take the card, we put it, the whole pack, we put it into the pocket, like so, and I make it very clean and very clear that it's going into the pocket. But what I'm actually doing is placing the box with the other card which is already in my pocket, and I always make sure that that card in my pocket is in front of the box. All right, it's just something that I like to do, and I'll explain again why when we come to an extra section of the routine. So now I ask, how many seconds will you give me to find the card? It's entirely up to you. You know, I'll point out a spectator, ask them how many seconds will you give me. Let's say they say 3 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever they say, it really doesn't matter. I come up now, I show that there's nothing in my hand, a real clean display. They all know that their signed card, they believe it's in the middle of the pack, right? So now what I do is show the hand empty, I go into the pocket, but in reality what I'm doing is just feeling this half card here. I'm feeling where it is, and that card is the card which I'm pulling out. Okay, so I'll show you that again in performance speed. I'll show my hand is completely empty, I go into the pocket, I have a little fiddle around looking for the card. I usually give it around about 2 or 3 seconds and then dramatically pull up one card, showing us one card right here, and have a look, it is indeed, it's your card. So you show the card, reveal it to everybody, all right? And now what I like to do, when I show the card around and everybody's reacting, wow, that was great, whatever they're saying, I like to hold the card with the card facing me and my fingers are covering the full card. Now I'm gonna go and take this card back into the pocket, and I'm going to switch this card with the card that's free in my pocket. Effectively, it's acting like a duplicate card. It's not the only thing that we're actually duplicating is the back of the card, right? So I go into the pocket. This all happens as everybody's reacting. I ditch that in and I pull the card out. Remember that this is on the top of the box, which is perfect. As I pull this out of the pocket, what I like to do is just kick this card across just a little bit here. Rather than keeping it flush, like this, I like to pull it out and kick it over so we can clearly see there's one single card. Everybody believes that this card is the card with the signature on it. Of course it's not. It's the joker or whatever the card is that you're using at the time to switch it with, all right? So now what I do, I keep this card facing me and away from everybody else. If you've got people behind you for any reason during your performance, then of course you're gonna have to keep it flush like this with the box. Preferably in a performance situation, you won't have anybody around there. You would have controlled them to the front to watch the trick to get the better view, right? So we kick that across a little bit. I now just open up the box. I say, look, we're gonna try it again, but we're gonna make it even more impossible. That card has now gone in, and I've kept that card pointing down all the time with the back facing the audience. So as that goes in, I close it up. Now what I like to do here, the very last second it goes in, I like to I like to push that card in. And it's almost to create the illusion of still showing it to somebody, okay? And that clarity of that one person acknowledging the fact that it's gone in kind of adds to the illusion that they've even seen it go in with the signature, or, you know, it doesn't, but to everybody else watching, that must be the same card. All right, and you can even capitalize on that and say, look, would you just make sure that is in there, right? So it's still impossible for me to get to. We're going to try the same trick again. So we close up the box this time, make sure it is completely free and it's fair, showing it to everybody, you know, it's absolutely in the box now. Then we take the rubber band, all right, and we're going to double that over onto the box. I do this while explaining. In fact, before even doing the rubber band, I'll say, look, we're going to do it again, but we're going to make it even more impossible. And by impossible, I say we're going to use these bands. These bands are going to bound the box. We're going to wrap the box just like this. In fact, not with just one band, not 2 bands. I'm going to use 3 bands, all right? And we bound the box just like this. Now what I like to do is point to somebody and say, I can see you're looking a little bit suspicious over here. You might think that I'm using the edge of the box. It might have a cut in it or something like that. So I'm going to bound one of the rubber bands over the edge like this. In fact, we'll do 2. We're going to bound it up. So now it's completely impossible for me to remove your card from the box. In fact, take it and I pass it to somebody and let them have a look at it. And really, it's actually very difficult to even just open up the box. Okay, that's actually really difficult to open. So they'll be having a look, they clarify that it's so difficult for you to now remove the card. And it is, but of course it's not, because their card's in your pocket. You've suckered them in, they believe it's in here, but it's just right there ready for you to pull out. All right, so they bring that back, you take the box and you say, I'm going to try the same thing again using the same amount of seconds that you've just gave me to find your card. So we're going to do the same again. And now what I like to do is be really free with my hands to show there's nothing hiding, because the reality is you've got nothing to hide. You may as well emphasize that, right? So I put the box into my pocket. I say, look, you said X amount of seconds. Let's go for that. There's nothing here. I'm going to try and find it. I show the pocket and let's do this. So here we go. And then you show your hands empty, you dip in. But now all we're going to be doing is removing that single card. All right, so we go in, I just feel the card and I pull it instantly right back out. And at this moment, it's just so simple to do that I'm now seeing the signed card myself, which is just a brilliant moment. You've gone through all of this showmanship and presentation. You should actually genuinely yourself be believing that that card is in the box, right? So when you actually see the card, it's almost a surprise to you that, wow, this is actually their signed card, you know, and it's just so simple. So now, as I say, you pull the card up, you show there's one card. There's no way it could be your card. But then you reveal the card. It is, of course, their signed card, and that could potentially complete the routine. You could leave it at that, or you could add the extra little piece, which is this. Not only that, not only did I find your card just as quick as the first time in that bound box, and then you go into your pocket and you remove the box while saying the box is still completely bound. All right, which now adds a real mystery. How did you remove that card from a bound box? It does add an extra element of mystery to it. All right. Or instead of saying the box is still bound, something else, you can reword it by saying, and not only that, I even managed to wrap the bands back around the box, leaving us with a completely impossible trick. All right, and that is the handling for bound. So now we're going to have a little look at the stage handling for this. Well, to be completely honest, the way that I perform this on a stage is exactly as I perform it close up, and you've seen that performed already, all right? But a brilliant idea from Dee Christophers is to actually elaborate on the props, and I really like this idea. As I said, when I perform, I will usually use the rubber bands and let everybody see the deck being wrapped up, and I actually use my pocket. But Dee's idea is brilliant to use and introduce some gaffer tape or some sellotape or parcel tape to bound the deck completely, all right? So you can use some gaffer tape, wrap the box up. You can have a real laugh with this as well, some good interactive stuff. And not only that, if you have a little look, the width of the gaffer tape is perfect to bound the box. So once this box is bound with gaffer tape, why not even wrap the rubber bands around it as well while you explain? We're going to make it even more impossible by bounding this whole thing, and now it's even more impossible, all right? And another idea that Dee suggested, which I really like, and I'm looking forward to trying this as well, instead of using the pocket, is to introduce a bag, okay? A bag that the participant who's picked and signed a card, they can hold on to, because they can examine that bag, they make sure there's nothing extra in there, and then during your performance, you will basically palm out a playing card and basically ditch the palmed playing card into the bag, and that is all the dirty work done. So that is all you'll need to do, is just ditch one playing card into the bag, all right? So the idea of building on this with extra props just really adds and heightens the illusion and the impossibility of finding somebody's playing card. And a brilliant idea as well, of course, is to let the participant keep the packet of playing cards, give them their signed card, and they've got a brilliant, impossible souvenir to take home with them. All right? So I'm really looking forward to trying these ideas as well. So enjoy the stage variation. Okay, so what I want to do now is demonstrate if you're using a different type of pocket. All right? You place this selected card into the pack, and we bound the box. As I've mentioned, you're going to bound the box up, making it as fun as you can. So we bound that box, okay, and once that's bound, what we're going to do is attempt to remove the selected card again, but obviously we know it's in the pocket. So I place the deck into the pocket, and now I'm about to attempt to find the card again. All right, so we dive into the pocket, we look for that card, we pull it right out of the pack, and there it is, it's their signed card. All right, and that's pretty much it. It's all there is to it. Oh, and the other really nice thing that I should have mentioned and been a little bit more honest about is that what I've just done is executed the perfect deck switch. Okay, so what I'm trying to emphasize here is that you can use bound as a brilliant deck switch, and all I've actually done, I've placed the deck of cards that I want to switch for into a box, okay, and I just remember the pattern that I place the rubber bands on. So for this I would just place 2 of the bands right in the middle like this, so the bands go around, but what I like to do is just give them a little roll so they go together in one straight line. Okay, and then I do 2 along the deck like this, as the deck is in landscape, if you like. Okay, so that is basically matching and mirroring this perfectly. This is the deck I'm going to switch for. Make sure you don't get this confused when you're actually performing it. Put that in the pocket, and then when I pull out the I'll place this into the pocket and make sure it's on the right hand side, and the deck that I want to switch is on the left hand side of the pocket. You do need quite a bit of clarity with this. So then when you pull out the card, you show the card and show it to be their card. All you've got to do now is just casually go into your pocket. I'm going to remove the left hand side pack whilst explaining, and the whole pack is bound perfectly. All right, so as I was saying, bound doubles up perfectly to execute a complete deck switch. It's very important that I include the credits for bound. My starting point for bound was using Clutch by Oz Perlman. It's a fantastic routine. It's also available through Penguin Magic, and it's brilliant. I highly recommend you check that out. The handling is different to what I do, and the handling within Clutch is something that you could include in bound, and it'll make it even stronger. Such a killer piece of magic. The switch that I've used is credited from me, from my experiences, to Alan Ackerman, and he has a fantastic card to pocket routine which you must also check out, and that is where my little switch was initially inspired from. So that concludes bound. I really hope you enjoy it. Get out there, perform the close-up version. If you perform stage shows or you've got big groups around you, make sure you introduce the gaffer tape and present it as a big piece of magic. The real secret with bound is the showmanship behind it. It's absolutely simple, and it's the simplicity of bound that makes it such a strong piece of magic. Really hope you enjoy it. Go out and perform it and enjoy it. Thank you once again.